Let me tell you this story right here. Make sure y'all can hear me and everything like that. I don't want anyone to miss a beat. I want everybody to get in here. Make sure I do that. A little adjusting on the camera here. Okay, there we go. All right, so it never fails, man. It never fails. So let me reiterate what happened real quick so you guys understand where I'm coming from. And understand it, ladies, I'm not bashing. I'm not saying anything is out of pocket. It's just ironic. I was talking about the same thing earlier today, and it's just got me like, I spent 2 hours talking about this today. So one time I was at the grocery store. This happened maybe less than a month ago, maybe a month ago. I was at the grocery store and I was on the phone with one of my viewers, right? And so I'm talking to her. Her and I, we always have conversations or whatever, whatever. We kick it, whatever the case may be. That's my peoples. You know what I mean? Shout out to Shot Town. And so I'm sitting there and I'm having this conversation with her. And I'm smoking a cigarette before I go into the grocery store, right? And this little boy comes out the store and he's with his sister, right? Now I talked about the story before. The little boy and the girl have about this much space, and then there's a pole in the middle. I'm standing up against the pole. The kid kind of did this move and he ducked around. You know how kids move, they jitter and stuff like that. I thought nothing of it. So I turned around and I said, "Hey, kid, what the hell?" Because I had a cigarette in my hand. And I was so engrossed in my conversation that I wasn't paying attention. So I could have burnt this child, whatever the case may be, right? I didn't want to do that because this is a child. Eddie's a little boy, and I know scarring up a little boy's face with a cigarette burn probably ain't the best thing to do in this potentiality of moving forward and getting a date one day or a wife. So I kept her children in line as far as my thinking was concerned, right? She didn't appreciate that. So after I muttered, at which two men outside that take the baskets back, they actually heard me too say, "Hey kid, what the hell?" They stood there the whole time. I didn't realize it. They stood there the whole time because they knew I was right. They knew I didn't curse at this child. The person I was on the phone with knew I didn't curse at this child. In fact, she was on the other line of the phone saying, "What the hell is she talking about?" This woman proceeded to get out of the car. She walks over to me. And as she's talking to me, she talks real soft at first, right? And she's trying to weed me out, figure if I'm the type of person she can get loud with or not. That's what she was trying to figure out. So she goes about and starts trying to check me. You understand what I'm saying? After I told her, like, listen, lady, everybody out here heard what I said to your kid, and I think I was justified in saying what I said. I said, what the hell? Like, your kid zipped by me. I'm thinking he's going to go this way. He zips by me. And then when he gets to the end, to add insult to injury, when he gets to the end of when he zipped by me, there's a pole there. He now has to climb over. I want to emphasize that. He had to climb over the pole other than his sister where she can walk right to the car. So I'm assuming he just wanted to beat his sister to the car like kids do to get the front seat. Let's make that fair, right? They're kids. What the boy had to be maybe 11 or 12. The girl's got to be like, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 or something like that or whatever. These are kids. And more importantly, they're kids that look like me. So I know what it's like to be a little boy and I know what it's like to be all jittery and stuff. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button if y'all get in here because I gotta give y'all this portion so y'all understand the rest of the story. So I let it go. She gets in her car, pulls off. I check her, whatever, tell her, listen, da da da. She throws out all this stuff. I live over here. Nothing about you, lady, in the dollar store glasses you got on right now. The dollar store sunglasses say you live in this area. You understand what I'm saying? And if that was the case and you didn't live here, why are you over here grocery shopping? And that's probably because you can't afford the groceries in Greenwich. Probably, yeah. So I was like, you know what? Let this go. I go in the store, nothing comes of it, right? Today, just today, it took me a minute because I had to put up my groceries and everything. Thank you in that too. I appreciate you. I'm putting up my groceries or whatever. Excuse me. I'm in the grocery store. I said I'm putting up my groceries. I'm in the grocery store. And that's the video y'all see below. And God forbid, I forgot to put it in the description box, but you guys can just go. It's the last video I uploaded. Okay. It's the last video I uploaded so you can see for yourself. So I'm sitting in the grocery store today. I'm damn near done everything I'm getting because I didn't get that much. You know what I'm saying? I just got what I needed because somebody, hey, what's going on? I'm glad you here. I'm glad you here. That's why I sent you the video. Annette on the check in. Annette was present when this happened. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, yo, let me finish up what I'm doing, whatever, whatever, whatever. Because Annette had donated some money for me earlier to go grocery shopping. I hope you seen the video. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to do two. You know what I mean? Because you were responsible for that. So thank you. So I'm sitting there in the grocery store today. I'm almost done or whatever. I'm going to buy some soy sauce. I eat soy sauce on certain foods that I eat or whatever, whatever. There's a vein to it to make it taste better. I'm walking up the aisle and I'm on the whole left end of the aisle. Okay. I mean, the whole left end, because at the top of the aisle, I can see this little boy coming around the corner with the basket. I'd already seen him. It's the same little boy. Okay. Same little boy. And I recognize it because he had this certain type of haircut, which you'll see in the video. It kind of sticks out. So it wasn't like he had a shaved head. Like I automatically recognized the little boy. So I'm sitting there and I see the mother come around the corner, but this time she ain't got the sunglasses on, and she had taken the sunglasses off before, so I got a glimpse of her face. I never forget faces. I lived in New York City, tri-state area forever. We never forget faces. So I'm sitting there and wow, that's crazy. I just saw something come through. 5 killed and 19 shot in Chicago during the 4th of July festival. That's crazy. In the suburbs, that's what they said. I'll get to that in a little bit. But because I remember seeing that earlier. This lady decides to come all the way and start walking towards my basket. Now she has the whole right hand to go through. And I know this sounds petty, but listen to what I'm telling you, because I've had this happen to me before. I've had people look at me, turn their head in hopes that I'll run into them so they can start an argument. I've had this happen with Asian people, Black people, Latin people, you name it. Specifically, this is the game that we learn for white people. Some of y'all might have had the same thing happen to you and just didn't realize it. Somebody would be walking, they're like, there's no way they did not see me just now walking. Well, this woman would looked right at me. She looked right at me and she knew who I was. She knew who I was. I didn't have on no hat that day. She knew who I was and I knew who she was as soon as I saw her. So what she decided to do was she said, let me test him. Let me start something. Let me get him wild and out of control. So he looks like in front of all these people in the grocery store is the aggressor. This is my payback time. Oh, you evil motherfucker, you. I peeped you early, bitch. So she gets to the point where she walks and runs into the basket on purpose, has the nerve to say, ow, after she's looked at me, she's made eye contact with me. I am not moving. You have the whole right end of the space to go. So I stopped the basket, just short of her banging herself, hurting herself, or whatever, still being considerate of her feelings, right? This is the part that bothers me. Still being considerate. She turns around at this point and she looks at the sun and then she starts mouthing off, mouthing off. You know, you're a terrible excuse for a man. You were the one outside that day, and blah 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 blah. And I'm gonna get to that in a minute too, because this is gonna this when your own kids turn against you, you know something wrong. So she started this tirade, and it was nutty as fuck. It was like I didn't even understand. I'm like, lady, you don't even know me. You understand what I'm saying? I've had a better job than you have. I can guarantee you that. And you, for all mistakes or purposes, this lady looked like the help. All right. And what I mean by the help, I don't mean she worked a blue collar job. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about she looked like the same help y'all be talking about. Like, you know, she's a secretary. We sick, boss. We sick. Them types. You know what I'm saying? The help. You know what I mean? So she looked like that. Her features alluded to that. Her stature alluded to that. Her body structure alluded to that. And you got a lot of these women that are out there that like pretend that they're like some thin blonde haired or brunette or Latina or beautiful type of like Iman or who else can I name? They pretend like they're one of these supermodel type chicks, but if you look at them and look at their features, it's like that shit don't add up. Your personality and the way you think Lizzo. Think Lizzo. Yeah, great personality, but look at you. You know what I'm saying? Your genome doesn't equal up to the person you're portraying to be. You're trying very hard. This woman was trying as hard as she could to articulate, and what she was upset about was when I started getting into an argument with her, I was just using articulation in a very calm voice, which you'll hear in the video. I kept that calm voice and I kept myself calm, and I'm very proud of myself. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. I'm very proud of myself because what I didn't want to do and what she didn't peep as she kept on going. Now, the part that you guys see recorded, that 40 seconds, is the latter part because I couldn't believe it was happening. And then finally I clicked, record this shit because nobody's going to believe me. So I sat there, and as I'm listening to her talk all this non-coherent BS. This lady is talking about, I'm a sorry excuse for a man. Lady, you don't even know me. But what you said spoke volumes. You have a contention in your heart against men of color. Even more so, I would label you as a horrible mother. And I'm going to tell you why. And I was just talking about this earlier today. That woman continued. And as you'll see in one part, I start walking off and I go around the corner. This woman continued in front of her kids. Now, the other little girl, I don't know if you guys saw it in the video, but that was the other little girl. That was her daughter that was coming around the corner. You understand? Because she heard this woman talking so loud. Her intentions were to make a story out of nothing and make herself appear as a victim. And I had to one up on her because I was like, I already know the direction you're going. Women like you always move like that. Women like you are so disgruntled, so angry, so mad, so bitter inside or whatever. But then this was the part that really bugged me. After I alerted this woman, after I alerted her, I said, lady, you're embarrassing yourself and you're setting a bad example in front of this kid. And I kept pointing to him. In the video, you'll hear me say the same thing at the very end. I said, you're presenting a terrible example to this young man. And what I didn't want to do was, I didn't want to traumatize that young man where he got to the point where hopefully one day he'll think about that situation and he'll be like, wherever his inner feelings is, because I can imagine what goes on in that whole household. Because the whole time that little boy didn't intervene, he looked relieved that somebody finally said something to this cantankerous fucking bitch. All right, because that's what she was. All right, she was, and if you guys would have been able, I should have started filming that day, but I was on the phone with one of my sponsors, Annette. And she would have told you the same thing. She heard it word for word, being in that state on the phone 45 minutes after that, talking about that broad. You understand what I'm saying? This woman tried me. This is a woman of color. This is not a white woman. This is not a, whatever. This was a black woman that did this. You understand? And it's not the first time I've had this happen. And this is why I was talking about this earlier. See, a lot of you ladies, let me dig into the cusp of this. That woman has got two, and this is why these boys are turning out like this. You better listen to this. That woman has a disdain in her heart deep for a black man. Trust me, and I'm assuming her kids were black. She has a disdain of hate that's deep in her. And the ironic thing about it is, this same woman is raising a little boy. Did that go too far over your heads? This same woman is raising a little boy. Now, this little boy, depending on her rearing and her instructions or whatever, they turn out to be, however, I'm betting simp. I'm betting obedient. I'm betting a whole bunch of other litany of different things that I can mention, but I'm not going to disdain and dig in on this little boy because it's not his fault. But based on the environment, it's just like Tarzan. Tarzan was raised with the animals, so he thought, spoke, communicated, and everything else with the animals. This is the same type of rearing that goes on in parent households every day. I'm not comparing them to animals. I'm saying it's an animalistic form of thinking. She's teaching this little boy how to be a servant, not how to be a provider, not how to be anything other than the literal lateral end of that, of the spectrum. No. What she's going to have that little boy as he grows up and he turns into an adult. He's going to be one of the most feminized little boys. I can see it in his stature. I can see in that little boy's eyes. He was scared of that woman. Y'all not listening to me. A lot of these little boys are scared of these women, and they grow up and they get to adulthood or whatever the case may be, and they turn around and then they have the same reactionary causes in their lifetime, the whole entire life. I ain't afraid of, I'm scared of my mama. I'm scared of mama. Mama. You see some of these motherfuckers, they be 30, 35 years old. First thing they do, they get into some trouble, whatever they calling out who? Mama. You never hear them say anything about their dad, do you? You go to a shooting or something like that or whatever. Like the shooting that's just happened in Chicago, when I want to get more info and talk to y'all about that. I guarantee you go out there and ain't gonna be nothing but people at the mama. Call mama, and then you never hear them say, yo, call daddy in there. This woman says to me this, and this is why I almost died when she said this. And I checked her when she said it, and I shut her up. I said, yo, she said, I hope the next time I have a man with me when I'm in here and blah, 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 blah. I said, I hope you do too, so both of y'all motherfuckers can go to jail. That's what I'm planning on doing. I want to see, listen, beating her up, cussing her out wouldn't affected her at all. This is a woman that's past that. She is used to being cursed out. She is used to being berated. She is used to all that. So it doesn't bother her anymore. The only way you could bother a woman like this is bother her livelihood, which you attempted to do with me. See, ultimately what happened, let's get there. Ultimately what happened, some point or another when I walked off, right? What you'll see in the video, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, the video is right down below. It's the last video that I uploaded. I forgot to put it in the description box. Unlucky me. Check it out for yourself. Yeah, I know. In the suburbs. That's why I paid attention to it. That's why I paid attention to it. I got you. Don't worry about it. I got it. You know what I'm saying? Sorry. If you're a sponsor or donator, you get preferential treatment. You know what I'm saying? Somebody told me, yo, you know what I mean? So I gotta do that later. But this woman somehow or another, time I walked off, she called the police. And she thought I was scared. Am I supposed to be scared? Oh Lord, here come Master Freeman. Y'all ain't listening to me, are you? You're not listening. This is why you continue to have the fucking problems you have. You're not listening. You're laughing, you're giggling, but you're not listening. This is a mentality. So many times I've heard in the past, because I've dated white women before, okay? I've dated black women. My last girlfriend was black and Muslim, okay? You know what I mean? But the point I'm getting at is here. I never, so many times I hear, and many of y'all have heard the same thing, women or men. I've heard women say, oh, you better leave them white women alone. They're going to call the police on you. No. The number one cop callers in 2022 and maybe 5 years prior to that are black and Latin women. Oh, they'll call the police on you. Y'all, some of y'all women, y'all need a motherfucking annex base in your motherfucking living room. You know what I'm saying? With a dispatch caller. So so this broad calls the police, and I'm just laughing the whole time. I'm like, I just want to see how this shows up because one, I filmed it. Two, everything that just transpired between you and I, including the audio, little do you know, is covered by all the cameras in the grocery store. So that's why I made sure I was aware of my surroundings. That's why I made sure I talked to her very calmly, this black woman, this Dusty, because that's what she was. She was Dusty. And if y'all go see that video, you will see there is nothing sexually arousal about this woman, okay? I don't care if she was Lithuanian. This woman was not attractive, okay? In my eyes, anyway. I didn't look at this woman and be like, yeah, I gotta have it. When she came up to me and she walked up to me first, I was like, yeah, you know what I mean? This is the point. The police show up. Who shows up as the police? A black female officer. A smart black female officer that saw through the bullshit. And the first thing that came to her mind, just like me, was, lady, why are you arguing in a grocery store? Two, why are you, and she tried to explain, this is the thing, she tried to explain everything that happened, but she reiterated it so it would fit her format. It wasn't until I brought in the fact that I got video at the time, she didn't realize, she didn't know how much video I actually had of her. And when I said I had video, you should have saw her face. Her face was like this. This is why it's important to record shit. So I'm sitting there, and like I said, this is a black woman. This is not anybody of another race, of creed, of color. This is a black woman. I'm half black, so trust me on this. I know a black woman when I see one. Not too many black people know Afro Latinos when they see one, but you know, whatever. So I'm sitting there, and she's describing to this woman, she's trying to get the jump on the conversation. So she's trying to explain to the black police officer, yo, this is what happened. And I was accosted and I'm a victim. And I'm a belligerent white woman with blonde hair, blue eyes. Even though my dark skin, I've got vitiligo. Listen, my daughter's mother was dark skinned. If y'all see that chick in the video, she was black as shit. At least have the features, the dog. I ain't trying to say somebody dark skinned can't talk articulately. I mean, there's been many of women that have, but what I'm saying is don't try to pontificate yourself as a white woman would. And one, you've never grown up in white environments. Two, the only time that you are familiar with whites and hang out with whites is at work. Three, don't do a terrible, most insidious rendition of it. Like a lot of you women want to emulate acting like and I'm talking about this is all across the spectrum. There's so many women all throughout the world that think that acting like a white woman is the creme de creme of society, as well as men that think acting like a white man is the creme de creme of society. That means that you are part. You understand? But what most time happens is they end up getting themselves in a subservient area and space. You know what I mean? I avoided that because I worked for Bad Boy Entertainment, which many of y'all know Puff owns. It's a black owned company. I did not have those experiences. Everybody I worked with was black and Latino, and they were men and females there. And I cannot remember one time in the whole time of the years of working there that I ever had a problem with an employee except for one time, and that was Tucker. And that was something I said in a youth space, and he understood that, and it wasn't no big deal. We moved on. Shout out to Tucker, man. I don't know where you at nowadays, but shout out to Bad Boy Tucker. He know what I'm talking about. Now, we continue the conversation, and the woman is now looking at me like, and she's asking her a question. She's like, "Well, was there the yelling, the screaming, the fall?" She walks off. She starts talking to the lady in the grocery store real quick or whatever. She comes back to her. She says, "Ma'am, finish your day and shop or whatever you're doing." Da, 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 da. She continues to yell now at the police officer. I say, "Oh, you done messed up." So that's my cue at this point. Oh, I'm out of here. She got snappy with the other black woman that came there to save her. See, what she was hoping was it was some white officer, white male officers that showed up. They'll show that no. And I'll show my son too. This what happened to you too. You get too big for your britches. Y'all don't understand the mentality of that bitch I was dealing with. Yeah, I call her bitch. I have no respect for you, bitch. You try to put my life in peril. I have no respect for you. And you are a black bitch. Yes, you are. You just happen to be black, but you're a bitch. You be a white bitch, a Spanish bitch, but you're a black bitch. You understand? And this is a type of behavior that I be talking about all the time. There are women out here, dude, that mean you no good. And they feel if you go beyond the protocol or even protecting yourself or speaking up for yourself, being a man, especially a man of color, then they have automatically a problem with that. But you won't do it with me, bitch. I know how to talk. I know how to move. I know how to play your ass better than you could ever think of 3 times over. But you ain't never been through the spectrums I've been through to fuck with me. And I proved that today. So I'm glad everything that happened. I'm perfectly fine with everything that happened. She thought she was going to embarrass me, and she embarrassed herself. You embarrassed yourself, and more importantly, you embarrassed yourself in front of 2 kids. What kind of woman are you? Now in the video, you'll hear her say, and this is funny because, ladies, let me tell y'all something, right? If I don't date you, if I'm not interested in you, if I don't want to have any type of relationship with you, if I don't want to marry you or whatever, please hear it for the best of my heart. Your measurements, your capacity of what you think a man is, especially being word and lip from women that mostly didn't even grow up with a father. That's why a lot of y'all got the fucking mental conditions like that fucking nut. That woman spewed at me like we were sitting in her living room. You understand what I'm saying? And she would have never taken that octave with a white man or a white woman or anybody else. She chose to take that octave with me because she looked at me as somebody she could do that with. No, bitch, you can't do that with me. And then the other shots of measure, you talking about, well, we'll see you next time. You out here playing games with people that you don't know. Let me keep it a book. Let me keep it 100, all right? So fuck all the editing. A lot of dudes would have punched you in your fucking face or worse in front of your kids. I just talked about this morning how a woman was killed, I believe it was in Harlem, and she had her kid with her in the stroller. Excuse me, the Bronx. She had a kid with her in the stroller, and they shot and killed her. That a straight bullet. I'm talking about they shot and killed her. And it ain't the first time it's happened. Dudes out here ain't playing that shit. So you out here popping and rocking and running your mouth or whatever. Why these dudes will do you in? Trust me. It's a whole different atmosphere out here. And second of all, when I speak of that woman, God bless her heart, that got killed with her child, what you also have to realize is this, ladies, a lot of people don't give a fuck that you got kids. All right. Like I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. A lot of men don't care that you got kids. A lot of men don't care who you going home to. There was an Uber driver that was killed in Pennsylvania not too long ago or whatever. Yeah, y'all can look this story up. And in the video, they have video of it. In the video, the woman says, please, I got kids. Da, 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 da. Motherfucker shoots her 2 times anyway and kills her to rob $500, $600. You see what I'm saying? There's a contention that these women, this certain segment of women, it's not all women. It's not. I have beautiful conversations. I stay on the phone with one of my homegirls 2 hours most of the fucking time. Sometimes I can't even talk to her because I'm like, listen, if I start a conversation with you, I'm gonna miss 2 hours of my life and I got shit to do. You got shit to do. We go chop it up later. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean I got less love for you, anything. I just ain't got time right now. You know what I'm saying? But I'll dedicate 30 minutes to an hour to you, whatever. And I do that with a lot of my friends. You know what I'm saying? I have women that I have had in my life, all my entire life that I've known, outstanding women. Women that no matter what's going on, they can offer you advice. Women that can, no matter what's going on, can offer you some solitude for the moment you might be going through or whatever. I've had women right here on this channel do that with me. You understand? The problem I have is this segment of women that usually, well, let's just call them the unfuckables. The unfuckables. The unfuckables. A ragtag group of women that run around starting shit with anybody any time of the day. Anytime that you have a problem, call the unfuckables. The unfuckables. The unfuckables, as I like to call them, are usually women that ain't that attractive, women that have some type of self-esteem issues from one another, women that seemingly for the better part of everything seem to be nothing but more than cantankerous, troublemaking, highly assertive, frumpy loser women as far as the bigger scope of reality goes. Some of these women think career is everything. I work for so and so. This is what I was mentioning earlier when I was talking about. Well, a lot of reasons these women fall into these ploys because there's no infrastructure created by men for them. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing goes for men that fall into this paradigm too. You know, but these women that I've run into and I see that are like this, they all have the same attributes. One, they're passive aggressive as hell. Two, they think they can say anything and everything to you, but they would not say it to any other race of man. In fact, they might have more respect for them than they do for you. But the highlight lays here. Bitch, you don't know me. Bitch, you don't know me. Bitch, you don't know me. And the whole time, you'll hear me in the video. And the whole time, from the time I was recording to the time before that, I kept referring to that lady as Miss. I kept referring to that lady as ma'am, Miss, da da da, because I didn't want to get in. And y'all notice, I wish you guys could have been present when I was on the phone call with my friend Annette and the whole thing took place. Because even right then, you would have heard at that moment, you would have heard that never, and this is my word, never did I curse at this woman, never did I call out a name or whatever. I don't do that. That's not really my thing to be just, you got to really do something for me to call you out your name as a female. I just didn't do it today. I didn't do it. She had kids in front of her. Two, I'm not going to make it look like there's two niggas in the grocery store that's of opposite genders that can't get along for 5 seconds enough to grocery shop. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do the whole troop with you while I'm yelling at you in the parking lot because your kid just did something and anybody else would have said something to him. The police officer would have said something to him. You get what I'm saying? You got a whole nother branch of women out here that actually hate men of color. And a lot of these women are raising sons. Okay? Even more worse, they're raising daughters as well, but they're raising sons. And they're coddling these boys or whatever. In many cases, these boys are the only thing male and black they love. And even then, I would question that love. There was no reason for that to happen in the store today. And I'm going to tell you, ladies, this: if you don't start getting some respect, giving some respect like you want respect, I shouldn't have to come into a coffee shop and you say hello to everybody else or how you doing, how's your day or whatever. You wait till you get to me and then you want to act like you really act. What you need? Huh? I ain't hear you. I got you 12 star. Give me 1 second. I'm going to reiterate. I shouldn't have to go through that. So this, if you guys are just tuning in, please hit that like button as well. What happened was I was at the grocery store today and I ran back into a woman that I had a prior altercation with verbally. And it stemmed off her son deciding, like kids do, that he could just skirt by me or whatever. And I had a cigarette in my hand. I don't like harming kids. I don't want to hurt a kid. You know what I mean? I just don't want that on my conscience, especially because of a cigarette burn. That's not going to heal very easily. If it does at all, it's going to leave some scarring. I got one on my arm that I had from years ago when the cherry fell off, and that shit is still there to this day. I did that when I was like 19. You get what I'm saying? So the kid scuttles by me and I turn around and I say, yo, kid, what the hell? You know what I mean? That's all I said. Everybody out there heard me. I didn't say, yo, kid, what the hell, yell at him. Her kid at one point stops, looks, and I guess he looked to see if I said something to him. He gets into the car, he tells his mom whatever she says. She comes out and reinterprets it the way she wants to. Now, mind you, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people around me, so all witness what happened, all witness what I was saying, and the whole time I was on the phone. So the point is, I was unalert that the little boy was going to do it because he did it so quickly. It wasn't like he ran out the store, was running and decided to dip. He came and he got a couple feet in front of me and did it. So I barely had enough time to turn my body. You understand what I'm saying? This is a little black boy. So the lady jumps out the car, and at that point, she says, did you guys have my son? Da, da, da. But at first, she's talking real, real soft, right? And then she proceeds to try to check me as she looks around and sees she got an audience. She proceeds to try to check me. And I'm like, hold up, bitch. You just heard me 4 times just tell you. Everybody out here saw what happened. And I told you, I didn't curse at your kid. I cursed at myself. I'm like, yo, kid, what the hell? That's called cursing at myself. That's not called cursing at your kid. You're making up things. You're lying. And she attempted to do the same thing today when I ran into her again today. She recognized who I was and I recognized who she was. I was coming up the aisle. I got some soy sauce. And so there's a right-hand side of the aisle, there's a left-hand side of the aisle. I was on a completely the left-hand side of the aisle because her son had came around the corner at first. At first, I didn't, because of the distance, I didn't even recognize her son. You know what I mean? But as I got closer to him, I said, that's the same little boy, because he had a certain type of little haircut that went up. And it's very unique the way his hair is cut. You'll see it in the video. It's kind of high. He sticks out. And so she comes around the corner, looks at him, and then looks exactly like this. And she recognizes who I am because she steps and gazes like this for a few minutes, right? And so instead of going to the right where her son was, and as you'll see in the video that's down below, if you just sit there and look at the video and you see where her son is, he's on the far, well, it'd be y'all right-hand side of the screen, and I'm on the left-hand side of the screen, you'll understand exactly why I know she did it on purpose. So she gets all the way to the beginning of where the basket and her will meet, and she goes like this and act like she's looking to the side so I can hit her with the basket. But I'm quick. So I stop the basket. And now you have the opportunity to just go on to the right because obviously you can't go straight. So what do you expect me to do with the basket? There's nobody else on this line, on this aisle, but you and I. You understand what I'm saying? There's nothing impeding you. There's nothing moving you. There's nothing, anything. This woman, this black woman, decided that now she wants to argue in the middle of the grocery store. And I'm like, oh, okay, I got you, bitch. Let me put my thinking cap on real quick. So I said, you know what? Keep it PG rated. G, if you possibly can, but keep it PG rated. NC 17 at the most. So I said, you know what? This woman wants me to get loud with her, so I'll start screaming and yelling at her, and then she can walk around. And fellas, pay attention to this. A lot of these women will start arguments with you, black women and Latin women, because they want to do it in public because of pure simple fact. It reinforces their narrative of you're a problem, of you're a troublemaker, or it gives them ways to abolish the fact that, oh, we're going after white men. That's why. You're going out to white man because most of you bitches is broke and you don't want to be broke no more. You don't want to sit around with a bro while you trying to make his money. Y'all want to sit around and spend it with him after he made the money, though. You understand what I'm saying? Caught on to you, bitch. Now, my point is this. This woman, after that, continues to try to berate me, try to get anything. And every time she says something, she's seeing it's not affecting me, it's not bothering me. So finally she gets into the, you know what, you're a horrible excuse for a man. But this is a woman that does not know me. You understand what I'm saying? I do not have any kids with you. I could go into how you're a horrible bitch in here with 2 kids, and this is the second time I've seen you, and you're by yourself. You didn't think about that, did you? This is the second time I've seen you and you're by yourself. There's no man with those kids or whatever, whatever. So she says at that point, I hope I have a man in here next time I'm in here with me. I said, I hope you do too, so I can have both of you motherfuckers arrested and have your kids watch it. I don't give a fuck. That's the shit I get off on. Yes, I will. I will watch your kids watch you get put in the handcuffs. Fuck you, bitch. You understand what I'm saying? And hope they get taken away from you. That's the way I get down. If you want to get nasty about it. She proceeds after I've been perfectly nice to her, never cursed at her, nothing like that, which is all recorded and put up there on lower video or whatever, because I had to catch this because I'm gonna start recording more moments like this or whatever. Y'all make sure y'all donate to me because I want to get this one piece that I can start showing you guys. I swear to God, y'all need to support this channel. I want to get this one piece from Amazon, right? And now maybe I'll throw it in my Amazon wish listing. I'm still compiling that together, but trust me, it takes a minute. I want to get this one piece so I can show you guys this in simple how customer service goes for a lot of men of color. And the better that you're dressed, the more normal that you look, the worse it is. If you go in there and you look like some hippity hoppity motherfucker or whatever that look like they might rob the place, they'll respect you more. You understand what I'm saying? Because a lot of these women feel like, oh, you on an equal level as me, or whatever they think. You understand what I'm saying? But if you come in and you look like you work somewhere or do something that's better than them, they will either try to berate you, make fun of you, attack you, take little snickers or whatever, whatever. I've walked into rooms before, and it, like, especially at the coffee shop, I will say that I've gone over there and it's a different experience. I'm gonna say that. I hate to say it like that, but it's a very different experience when there's Latin and black people in there versus when it's just white people in there. It's a very different experience. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. When the blacks and Latins come into the Starbucks over here, what they do is the first thing they do is they start trying to show off. They want to get attention brought to them. You understand what I'm saying? But particularly the women. They will get loud. They will say nasty things under their breath. I had these young girls that were sitting over across from me. First of all, girls, you're like 22, 23 years old or whatever. You look goofy. You understand what I'm saying? They look like goofy 22 and 23-year olds. So I was at no interest. I think what they were mad and upset about was the fact that I wasn't acknowledging them. I wasn't paying attention to them. Maybe I didn't think they were pretty enough or whatever. So based off their low self-esteem, they decided, you know what, let's attack him. So they started saying little things under their breath, da 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 da. He ain't all that. He think he all that. Look how he walk. Look how he dressed. I ain't know nobody was wearing those sneakers. Like this little small little whatever jabs they can give you, and it was just like, wow. I haven't said nothing to these young black women that were sitting over there. These queens, these righteous women. No, these are a bunch of cantankerous little cunts that had low self-esteem issues, and we need to call them exactly how the fuck they are. It's like that fucking cunt at the grocery store today, you ugly fucking ugly bitch. This one's for you. First of all, bitch, all that fucking mop top weave you had in your head that looked like some Jerry curl from back in 75. First of all, fuck your hair. Let's say that. I want to say fuck you and fuck whoever put that fucking weave in your hair. Second, the shit looks horrible. Okay, I see girls with weaves that look fucking beautiful. That shit looked horrible. They look greasy. How you got a greasy weave? Greasy? Now, the second thing I want to say to this cantankerous ass bitch, the reason you're probably alone is because whoever the kid's father is of those two kids, judging by your personality, you definitely drove him away from you. That's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You definitely drove him away from you. Three, this bitch had the nerve to fucking threaten me. And then turn around after she threatened me with another dude, turn around and had the audacity to call the police on me, to have intentions of having me locked up, which she played herself. You had a black female officer show up and she made you look like a fool in front of everybody. And when you couldn't be figured out as, you couldn't be seen as who you wanted to be seen, what happened after that? You decided to get loud with her too. And she checked you. See, this is a woman that these type of women that go around, these type of black women that go around, these type of Latin women that go around, and they say the most notorious, nasty, insidious shit. This spectrum of women that are like that in a big hole of women. But these spectrum of women that are like that, the one problem that I find unilateral, all of them, none of them has never been punched in their fucking mouth before. And that's what I think we need to start doing, ladies. All the good ladies is out here, all the good ladies is left, especially if you over like 35. I think we need to go on a fucking punching tour. You understand what I'm saying? Like all y'all hard rock chicks that was back in like early 2000s. So I need y'all to come on out one time. You know, bring your baseball bat you used to rob people with. You know what I'm saying? Come on out one time and put the living fear in these little bitches. Because that's the problem. They don't have no fear. You understand what I'm saying? Now I could have scared the fuck out of that woman, walked up to her, started choking the life out of her, whatever, whatever. You see how big my fucking hands are? Lady, you were like 5'6", 5'7" at tops. You understand what I'm saying? But these are the type of women that are going around and they are purposely jumping up in men's faces. They're purposely starting problems. Her game was psychological. And what she hoped was I was dumb enough to go along with it. And what she saw I wasn't dumb enough to go along with her psychological game. She tried to do another psychoanalysis and try to catch me from another one to see if I was fearful. So she gave this psychoanalogy that if she brought a man with her, I wouldn't, bitch, I'll say the same thing to you in front of a fucking man. And here it is on camera. You hear me saying it. You understand what I'm saying? If you get too froggy, I'll lay you both down too. Please believe that. You understand what I'm saying? All of a sudden, my life was at risk. I was fearful. This goddamn PTSD, I swear to God, I couldn't help but pull the trigger. You gotta watch who the fuck you starting shit with, lady. All right? Trust me on this. You know, there's a lot of guys out here that don't play that shit. And a lot of women have gotten hurt from doing that stuff, from dirty looks. Like sometimes when I hear some of these attacks that happen or whatever the case may be, a lot of it comes from a person already having a bad day, having a bad life, and then giving us dirty look or whatever, whatever. Any of you guys ever been moving around in your day and some black woman or Spanish woman will give you a dirty ass side look, but turn around a couple seconds later, if you look in front of her and they get in front of somebody white and they smile? It's because it's subservient. They believe that the escape and the route out of poverty is kissing the ass of white people. They hold them higher in regard than anybody. They hold them in higher regard than white people, black people that grew up with white people, Latinos that grew up with white people. They hold them in higher regard than those people. Do you not understand what I'm saying? If you're a black person and you grew up in a white neighborhood, or you're a Latino, you grew up in a white neighborhood, or whatever the case may be, you'll have a camaraderie between those people. You understand what I'm saying? It's not based off race, it's based off, hey, I grew up with you. I think it's more so racial when you have these people that are from the hood and then they go into these white working environments and they put on an acting role. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's a whole, nothing's natural about it. And what they don't ever realize is everybody that's around them sees the same through the same shit. Now, I'm not saying that that lady didn't work. I'm pretty sure she did work. You understand what I'm saying? But whoever she worked around, she's accustomed to a behavior where she comes into work and she kisses ass. And she thinks that her work environment is so important that the rest of us don't matter. And that's one thing I never did. I worked for a multi-million-dollar record company. I went through 3 distributors of them. I've traveled everywhere across the fucking United States. I've stayed in everywhere from the W, you name it. I've stayed in all of them. I've had bouvettes in my fucking hotel suite, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I never knew what a bouvet was until I got with Bad Boy. I ain't even gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? That was some French or English shit for me. But the point is, if we put it on a scale and we compared resumes, what she doesn't realize is my resume is bigger than yours. And at the way you look, it would never be fulfilled the same way. You understand what I'm saying? So that's where the presumption, the assumption, and the negativity come into play because many of these women think this based off of gender alone and what their personal accomplishments have gotten them, that they think that they are more intelligent than you, they think they are more slick than you. And most of the time, they're not even intelligent. What they use is they try to be slick. There's a difference between being slick and being intelligent. You understand what I'm saying? Anybody can be slick. Slick doesn't take calculation, really. Slick just takes a bright epiphany and being able to act out that epiphany in the moment. Intelligence means that you pregame. Intelligence means you look at every variable that's coming from every different position and then you find right in the middle where you circumnavigate in between all of that and where all of it linearly will link up together in a conclusion that's more profitable for yourself. That's called intelligence. Being slick and slick mouth and slick tongue, that holds no court with me. You understand? And that's what that lady did today. And that's what a whole host of other ladies out here doing, not only in person, but on social media. From Brittany Renner to a lot of these women that have these toxic messages that make no sense, from women trying to define what men do and don't like. You know, you can say anything about these big tall guys. I don't go all in with them or whatever, whatever. Some of it I support, some of it I don't. Some of it is just like this stupid stuff. Like I heard a dude today call himself an apex man, or apex man. You know what an apex predator, aka alpha. This comes from a low self-esteem. All right. No man that has a high self-esteem runs around calling himself an alpha every 5 minutes. No betas run around calling themselves alphas. Alphas is not definitive of how much strength you have, or how loud you can talk, or how huffing and puffing you can get around. Now that has nothing to do with alpha. That just means you're a brute. Brutes can be set down. You don't believe me? Ask David and Goliath. You understand what I'm saying? Any brute can be sat down in 2 minutes. I can guarantee you that. You understand, with the proper provocations. So this whole definition that these guys have, it has from a low self-esteem, really. Not all of them, but most of them that scream this bullshit. I'm like Apex, I'm like Alpha. Da, 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 da. They come from single mama bitches. It's like that bitch in that grocery store today. Because see, they never had a daddy around. So daddy didn't teach them anything. If they did have any men around, they were the most horrible men you could ever fucking think of. All right. Guys that were in and out of jail, guys that robbed people, guys that stole shit, guys that made criminal life a fucking history, their whole history. And then they want to admonish these men when they get older. This is why you see these DVDs and these documentaries and all this shit for years now with these ex-drug dealers glorifying them. This is so and so, da da da. And some of them, they did some things for the neighborhood. I don't want to take that away from them, but most of them, they didn't do shit but line their pockets and did it off the poverty and the fucking the dismay that was happening in that neighborhood. You know, it's like a fucking bed of roses in the trash heap. If you hear what I'm saying, you know what I mean? Um, a lot of these women have been grown up in these environments and they're raising sons right behind them in these environments. And these boys, like that boy that was in that store today, is one of the coddled many that's going to end up being the next dude that's out here that one of these women date. And they're going to be complaining about the little boy. They're going to say, this little boy ain't shit, da 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 da. Who do we blame? Let's blame that bitch right there. Let's blame that bitch right there because she had something to do with it. And I'm sick and tired of you guys that, listen, y'all remember the movie Boys in the Hood? Y'all remember seeing that movie? One of the most prominent points in that movie was when they was at the swap meet, you know, when they were cruising and everything like that. And that girl came out, she said, can we just have one night where don't nobody get shot? And they looked, Ice Cube looked at him, he said, shut up, bitch. Shut up, bitch. Like, the fuck are you talking to this man out here talking? Now, regardless of what happened after that, we all know. But the point and the sentiment was there. Women wasn't jumping in men's face like that. I'm talking about the way women are jumping in men's faces, especially black women. And white women are doing this to white men too. I got a video of and I'm gonna start throwing some stuff up about that too, because this is unilateral. This is not this one culture and race. I point to Latin and black because that's what I'm attached to. You understand? Please hit that like button if y'all would, please. The reason I point at Latin and black is because of pure simple fact that's what I'm close to. That's what I'm intimate. That's in my blood. You know what I mean? So of course I'll point that out first. It's not like I'm taking that in this particular situation that happened today with this woman. That's why I'm doing that. Now, if you're just now joining me, I'm gonna reiterate this one more time. I had and I'm gonna try to paraphrase and make this quick because I've said it 3 times now. I had a previous experience with a woman at the store, and it was involving her kid. Her kid ran past me. I had a cigarette in my hand. He made a certain move and a sudden move real quick and dipped up under me like kids do. Well, kids do shit like that all the time. But I had a cigarette in my hand. I wasn't paying attention because I was on the phone. So I got the phone like this. I got the cigarette like this. You get what I'm saying? So I could have burnt him because he was tall. This wasn't a little short little boy. This little boy came to probably like right here on me, at least to my forearm or shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Well within hand range. Now, ladies, would you want your son with a cigarette mark burned on his face from some dude that you didn't know? I didn't think so. If Santa Claus came here right now on July the 4th and said, do you have milk and cookies? Would you be prepared? I didn't think so. So point I'm getting point I'm getting is the kid was going to attempt, what I think, was attempting to fight for the front seat of the car because the mother's car was parked right there. You understand what I'm saying? So literally, they came out the store, split into two, and they were trying to beat each other to the front seat. As a little boy, after the little boy did it, I said, hey, kid, what the hell? This is exactly what I said. I said, kid, what the hell? Because I looked back and he was actually past me. I'm thinking he's over here. He's past me. So I was like, what the hell is he doing? Yes, I'm going to say that. I didn't say it to the little boy. He stops because he heard what I said. He stops, looks back, gets into the car. No matter, I guess, this is a mama's boy, obviously. Mama, he done cursed at me, mama. Now, there's 5 witnesses out there. After this has happened, I have a discussion with 2 of the guys that pulled the baskets up. It was just hilarious, both Latino men. The woman gets out the car. She walks over to me, and at first she's talking real soft. Excuse me, did you curse at my son? And then she starts looking around. She sees people coming out the grocery store, so now she want to pull on a scene. So at that time, I'm on the phone with one of my subscribers, and we're having a conversation. This is a female that I'm on the phone with. I want to underline that this is she listening to everything, okay? And you'll hear me never one time cursing at this lady, never one time raising my voice at this lady, but she was not giving me the same courtesy. Her intentions were to try to embarrass me. So finally, when she got to the end, I had to say to her, I said, I don't know how slow you are, what part you don't get, but I've just told you 3 times the same story. You are no Dorothy figure or anything else. So get your fat ass in the car and get the fuck up on out of here. You know what I'm saying? So she got in the car, pulled off, whatever the case may be. I ended up having a conversation with the 2 guys that had the baskets right before I went into the store. I still went into the store with grocery shop or whatever. Well, I ran into that same cunt today. So at this time, I guess because she was still mad, you got to watch these. You got to watch these type of women because they keep grudges. They are some nasty, evil motherfuckers. I think like a lot of women of color have taken on this paradigm. Now they just want to be the most evil, benign bitches they can possibly be. This little segment of women. They just want to be a leaning, nasty, cantankerous alligator type of motherfucker. And I'll tussle with you. I will, ladies. I'll tussle with you. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Let's get it. You know, I'll wait for that one. You know what I mean? I want one of them to throw that fucker. Oh, you fucking tough, huh? All right, I got you. I've done that before. This one chick, she started yelling at me one time, and I wasn't gonna do nothing. I just wanted to see where she was at. So I said, "Yeah, I see you want to fight, motherfucker." she she started backing up. So you want to fight, motherfucker? Do that shit, fellas. Trust me. Don't put your hands on. But just say that shit. You want to fight, motherfucker? See what they say. You'll see the bitch come out of them real quick. I ain't talking about a bitch. I'm talking about the bitch come out of them real quick. Fuck out of here. You know who to do that shit with. Who know? I bet you won't do that shit with me again. Today she's in the grocery store. I'm walking up the aisle. I just finished getting some soy sauce, okay? I'm walking up the aisle there, and I'm on a complete left-hand side of the aisle because the soy sauce is on the left-hand side of the aisle. So I'm just pushing the basket exactly up the same type of aisle. I'm tall. I can reach over shit. You understand? So I'm sitting there and I'm pushing the basket or whatever the case may be. I see her son come around the corner. Now I don't recognize her son at first until I get closer to him because there's still some distance. Even more so why this chick kept it to the right or whatever. But nah, she comes around the corner after him, looks at me straight in my fucking face, right? Sees me still pushing the basket forward, which she thinks that she commands so much respect that I'm supposed to move the basket over, which is causing me more of a strain than anything. But she can keep walking straight because this is how regal this unattractive woman is. Okay. And I'm not saying she's ugly necessarily. She just wasn't attractive to me. Like there's nothing about you that says, I want to get with you. She was part of the unfuckables. The unfuckables. Do 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 do. The unfuckables. Whenever there's danger near and you need an ugly woman or a woman that's less attractive, or if there's some type of social issue that needs a lie, call on the unfuckables. So it was part of the unfuckables. A less than attractive woman. You understand? For me. For me. Maybe the next guy that might be like fucking Princess Leia. I don't know. Point I'm getting at is I noticed that most of these women that are like this, they all have the same thing in line. I'm gonna continue the story. They're all like unattractive. I'm pushing the basket. We get to the point now where we're about this much ahead of each other. She gets right to where she's in front of me and does one of these moves because she's hoping that I'm going to hit her with the basket. Therefore, she can create a dynamic where there's an argument. Once there's an argument, everybody in the store starts looking around. Who's that crass man yelling at that poor woman and her 2 children? I'm like, bitch, do you not realize the rest of the world don't look at you and your kids the same way that you think they supposed to look at your kids? Listen, if you really want to be clean about it, why are you out here calling police on people when somebody could call the police on your son in the near future and worse could happen to him? So she continues to argue. She continues to raise her voice or whatever. At the same time, she refuses to move. She is content on the fact that she is not going to move from in front of this basket, that she's going to force me subliminally to move. She's going to make me adhere to her. She's going to make me bend. And the whole time her son is sitting right there on the correct side. And that's why I filmed him, because I said, look where his basket is. Why aren't you in front of your son? Why are you walking right into me trying to start shit? See, she was trying to start a problem because she thought she was going to get the expected shit that she was going to get out of me, which was I was going to yell and scream with her at the grocery store. I was going to curse her out in front of her kids. Lady, I'm not going to curse in front of any kids. I'm not going to harm you in front of any kids. But what you're not going to do is you're not going to be like I say this little quote, which y'all can hear in the video that's right down below. You're not going to say to me, I hope the next time I'm in here, I have a man with me. Bitch, the probability of you having a man with you is probably 0 to 1, you fucking cunt. The man that you did have probably took off years ago. That's why you got 2 kids by yourself. All right, let's keep it a buck. All right, you ain't fooling nobody here. You understand what I'm saying? Whoever that kid's father was, he ain't there no more. You understand? And if he is there, you need to sit down and have a talk with this chick, because this chick can't be going around here in society thinking she gonna poke her chest out, just talking. Lady, you ain't know who the fuck I was. My dad could have been a judge. My dad could have worked at the police department. My mom could have worked as a prosecutor. My mom could have been a full-time. What would you have done then? Huh? What would you have done then? How would you have gone against a lawyer that don't have to hire a lawyer? You get what I'm saying? Like, there's no thinking pattern in these women's spastic outrages based on the fact of gender and how they feel in the moment. And I'm saying to you, the reason there is none is because there are no repercussions. There are no repercussions to these bitches. You understand? Amber Heard, I was so glad when that repercussion happened to that fucking cunt. But I'm telling you, black women, a lot of them are turning into Amber Heards. The lying, the manipulation, the benign fucking setups and shit like that. I would never in my life thought I would be set up by a black or Spanish woman. I started recording this woman, and she's sitting there talking, and she's telling me, "Oh, you a sorry excuse for a man." Da, da, da. First of all, bitch, you ain't even got a man with you or these 2 kids right now. The first time I saw you ain't have a man with you or whatever. So whatever the fuck the definition of a real man is to you is fucking irrelevant in this point, and it was prior to this too. I gives a fuck with your measurements, your capacity, y'all. Let's compare resumes. I bet your mine is bigger. I bet your mine is better. You understand what I'm saying? Let's compare work histories. I bet your mine is broader. You know what I mean? That's the shit I get into. That gives me the measurements of everything about you. You understand what I'm saying? What you've done in your past. A lot of things that I've done in my past and worked my ass over my past are the reasons I'm in a better position now. You understand what I'm saying? Well, I can reinvent myself and come through, but you have no idea who the fuck I am. First of all, you definitely don't know and go around starting shit with people, because you just heard me today tell you I've got 1.2 million views in 28 days. I don't think I'm the guy you should be fucking with. I'm just saying, common sense would say that, right? Would you want to fuck with the vlogger that has 1.2 million views in 30 days? And he's now filming you? You ain't exactly the brightest one in the bunch, huh, bitch? You know what I mean? Huh, bitch? You know what I mean? I'm getting back on my bitch shit. I'm calling chicks bitches, cunts, if it's desirable and it's warranted. You understand what I'm saying? Not just in general, that bitch, this bitch. No, 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 no. You're a bitch. You're a troublemaking fucking bitch. You understand what I'm saying? And any man that will want to stay with you is a fucking wacko. All right? Any guy that wants to, any guy that would try to justify that woman's behavior. This woman, after I walk off from her, which you'll see in the video down below, she proceeds to call the police. And when she calls the police, a female police officer, black female police officer shows up. She sees right through the shit. I said, ma'am, there's cameras all through the store, and it'll very well show her standing there refusing to move for 5 minutes. Like, she refused to move. She was bent on the fact, you are going to adhere to me. You are going to move out of my way. You're going to show me my respect, this old black woman, and a blah, 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 blah. And I'm saying, fuck you, bitch. If it wasn't for your kids being here, I'd probably take a box of the cereal, crack your fucking head open right now. You know how crazy I am, bitch. But I was nice to Devin today. I was nice, Devin. I was nice. And I kept my regular voice. Well, somewhat. I kept my tone low. I spoke to this woman. I said, Miss. But in the back of my mind, I just pictured myself hitting her with a frying pan. Just like, shut the fuck up. Women like this, I honestly, truthfully believe we need other women to beat their mother fucking ass. My grandmother and my grandfather used to say this shit. Sometimes when you have a motherfucker that talk too much, it's because they ain't never had their fucking hands put on them. They ain't never had no heads put on. They ain't never had no real shit happen to them. See, I'd had real shit happen to me. I done been the one that done real shit too. So I can tell you, a person's perspective changes what something happens to you. You understand what I'm saying? Your mouth that you so big with, or whatever, it'll hunch up and it'll haunt you. You understand? I have nothing against that woman. Even based on her past interaction with me, I had nothing against that woman. But for today, when she called the police, I was like, really? And what she was hoping was it was two male white officers that would show up. This is the little fancy of a lot of black women and Latin women. They hope that someone white will show up because they believe in their minds that they are so precious. But really, what it is to align themselves, Yes, that's what I said. They try to align themselves with white women so much. I've seen Asian women do this. I've seen Indian, Middle Eastern women do the same type of thing too if they're American now. They'll try to align themselves with white people, usually yuppie, belligerent, obnoxious, nasty, not very successful white people. They'll try to align themselves with their thinking, their da 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 da. And then when they see you in public, they look at you through the same scope that those cantankerous, nasty white people that they're hanging out with. Yes, there's two groups of type of white people. I didn't grow up with poor white trash. You see what I'm saying? That's why, in fact, the white people that I grew up with, they call out poor white trash, call it pasty. That's why I learned to tell pasty pale. That was the funniest shit I ever heard in my life with my whole kid. She's like, who are you talking about? That pasty pale bitch? It's like, shit. Pasty pale. You have to be around white people to know shit like this. But you call it pasty pale. I've heard gutter rats. I've heard all kinds of shit. You know what I'm saying? Trailer trash, all those. Like the white people I grew up with was mostly Italian and Greece. They make fun of people like that, poor white people like that. Like I couldn't even tell you how many. But this is the side of people that a lot of times minorities seem to want to grasp onto. And that's what I think with that woman too. You understand? Now, not only could she have put my life in danger or whatever, how it might have been interpreted, but the fact that she was hoping that two white officers would show up and instead of black female officers showed up, which I'm pretty sure was a reason why, because they heard her voice and it obviously sounded black. Right there, enough, bitch. You should right there to know that you're not special. They sent the nigga officer for no. You don't get it? Like they sent a black officer for a black woman. Don't you get it? Like right then, another lady that should let you know you're not in the spectrum where you're on an even plane and you're accepted the way you think you're accepted in your head. And really, a lot of this and a lot of these women thinking the way they is because not delusion. They trick their mind into thinking that imagination is reality. This is what internet influences. This is what negative people that kind of like what's the word I could use here? I'm looking for the word here. Just give me 2 seconds. Negative people that enable you. This is what they do. You know, you get 10, 15 people around you, 15 women. They're like, yeah, girl, you could do this. You could do that, girl. Yeah, girl, da, 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 da. Cuss that nigga out. Ah. I'm telling you, ladies, and I'm telling you, this big cousin David telling you, el agente latino, tú sabes, creo que sí, pero mi boca es la. I'm telling you, you ladies better start getting it in order and put your motherfucking inside voice on. Because I'm trying to tell you, if you haven't been paying attention, and you say it, I heard a lot of women say, what is an uptick of violence against women? But they never like to talk about the spectrum of that conversation where the women had something to do with it, not just the fact that they got killed. Fuck that shit. You a punk motherfucker, you kill a woman. Not that. The fact of what brought on the argument to end up like that. See, you got to watch who you start shit with because you never know how it could end. You understand what I'm saying? You got to watch who you start shit with because you never know how it could end. Now, I try to lose that to my better judgment for myself as well. You understand? I'll go out start stuff with people, but if you start something with me, I will definitely let you know my words. Now, a lot of women ain't going to want to hear this. A lot of women going to tune out right now, whatever. Go ahead. And I hope that you're not a victim of this. But to the smart women, the women that are not bent on being sassy and the ones that are bent on being these fake ass queens that buy Prada boots that they can't afford but the rent late. I'm not talking to y'all. I'm talking to the intelligent women. The reason you see so much of an uptick of minority men attacking minority women is predominantly because of culture and the mouths on a lot of these women. A lot of these men have bent up aggression in them and they've been dealing with this cantankerous ass woman or whatever. I'm not justifying their deaths or any harm coming to them. Don't you get me wrong on that. But a lot of these men have been sitting back, just pent on like, this bitch say one more motherfucking thing, I swear to God, I'm gonna knock her fucking teeth out. This bitch say one more thing, I swear to God, she going to the truck. This bitch say one more thing, I swear to God, she going to the landfill. And this guy has now been walking around. I'm a man. I know this. I've had conversations with other men about stuff like this. Okay. So saying a guy that's always been in a locker room with other guys, a guy that's always went to the bathroom with other guys, you don't fucking know me better than I know me. So I don't need a woman explain who the fuck I am as a guy. You got me? Unless you stand and using a fucking bathroom, you out of the fucking conversation here. All right. Unless you stand up to use the bathroom, you're out of the conversation. Now, with that said, that's how you alliterate. I don't know why. What do y'all ain't think about that before? Next time one of these chicks tries a woman's play something to you, be like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Do you stand up to use the bathroom?" Ask her that. Do you stand up to use the bathroom? No. So I'm assuming that you've never pissed beside another guy in the urinal. I'm assuming that you haven't gone into a guy's bathroom unless you're a custodian or something like that, never seen and listened to what happens in there. And I guarantee you're not in there at the same time the men are. You understand what I'm saying? There's certain things and tenets about men that just no matter how much you are a woman, how much you are a mother, you will never understand. Even our mothers, as young boys, we hide shit from them. You know what I'm saying? How many of y'all went told your mom about the first time that you saw a naked magazine? How many of y'all went told your mother right now, how many times you seen a woman naked on Pornhub or something like that on the internet? I'll wait. None of you. That's who. And you won't. You know why? Because the pure simple fact, men hide a lot of things from them. I hid that I smoked cigarettes from my mother. I hid that I watched porn. I hid that I had a girlfriend. I hid that I had sex for the first time. Women think because of their maternal instincts that especially black and Latin women that you know based on how your little boy was raised. That's how the little boy you raised was, bitch. We are not all the same. You understand? And that's one of the things that the biggest mistakes that blacks and Latinos and many people of color and different ethnicities, they make the mistake of. They think because our skin is the same, that we think the same, that we must have the same experiences. No, bitch, I haven't had the same experiences. But now we have our women thinking they are somehow superior to us, even in the smallest of situations of work. And that's what this bitch thought today. How dare you, lady, tell me I'm a sorry excuse for being. First of all, you don't even know me. Second of all, I would never date you. Third of all, you're a cop caller. And that's why I drove off that man that you used to date. Not only are you a cop caller, I'll even go further and say this. You're a piece of shit because you sat there in front of your kids when you had the opportunity to walk off and you still continue because you wanted the last word. And you continue to argue with a man you didn't know in the middle of the grocery store who was all in an aisle full of pots and pans that could have busted you in your motherfucking skull if I was that type. But I'm not. I'm trying to be a nice guy. You know, this woman did not realize any of that, and she's going to go and she's going to do that with another man, and another man, and another man after that. And I'm telling you, ladies, if you're not careful, if you're not careful, you might be the next in line to get harmed by one of these men because men are not playing that shit anymore. As you started leaning towards taking away your love and your empathy, a lot of things come with that. The first of all is my responsibility towards you as a woman. I have none. And you're gonna find more men having the same position as me until something changes with y'all and y'all narrative, y'all voices, y'all story. Now there's a few sisters that I'm definitely down with, and they got my back anytime I want to tell every last one of you guys that la mujer latina, tú sabes, claro. But the rest of y'all bitches, the broader spectrum of you bitches, based on the facts and the tenets that y'all serve, push, advocate, enable, influence, well, I ain't with that shit. And if you try that shit on me, I'm gonna make sure your life turns out horrible. I will let you know that. I will do shit to you that will last the next 20 years, and you will always remember me. You will always remember. How could he have done this to me? That's how smart I am. I gave my name professional for a reason. Okay, and I've always adhered to that name. Also, I have a second nickname that a lot of people know me by is Cowboy. I've heard both of those names, you know. And regardless of what you look at right now, you may not think that, but I'm exceptionally smart. I'm very cute to being smart, and I'm not slick. I'm smart. I'm not slick. Slick people, I could get on here right now and I could be slick, and I know a million ways I could get fucking cash apps and everything like that. If I was slick, I can lie to you, whatever, whatever. I come up here and I tell ordinary stories. You understand what I'm saying? I just tell what happens in my life. And it's like, you don't get rewarded for that. And not very awfully anyway. You know, even if you're a dire need, you don't. But these women, they'll get online, they'll give you these crazy ass stories. They'll talk about how they were strippers, they'll talk about how they were this or whatever, whatever. And we applaud that. I put up a video that's down below too. You guys can check it out about Brittany Renner saying some highly toxic shit. And these women would just be Simone, who talks shit about Martin Luther King, all these women. They sat down and applauding it. Let me read some of these comments. It sounds like she was mad about something else and just took it. No, ain't no way she was mad about something else and twice. We ain't giving that bitch no pass. She knew who I was. I just turned in. You said I'm exceptionally smart. Exceptionally smart people don't need to say it. Somebody said, Hugh Josh, exceptionally smart people don't need to say it. Well, that's by your measurement, sir. And like I said, thank God we don't go by other people's measurements. So let's get him up out of here. He said, I just turned into your channel. I heard you say you're exceptionally smart. Okay, cool. That proves what on your end? Exceptionally smart person is not going to argue with you. I just blocked you and see ya. All right, so I got a whole bunch of new people here on the channel, and they just like they're wild. So back to these cantankerous bitches. That was a cantankerous bitch right there too. Hugh Josh, what a great name there. Anyway, moving on. Just like that man right there, that was the same thing that that woman attempted to do, where you tell somebody something, and based off them saying it, they believe in their mind to be true. This woman said, you're a sorry excuse for a man. Oh, really? Okay, cool. And you notice how, for your example, your measurement, your spectrum of what you think of it is. And I said to myself, but you're an idiot with two kids, and this is the second time I've seen you, and them two kids ain't got no daddy with them. There's never a man with you. I'm not saying that you don't have a man. I'm just saying you're sitting here arguing in front of two kids. And even when you're giving the attempt to somebody to walk off, you're still arguing. You understand what I'm saying? So take that out of a controlled environment, such as a grocery store, and put it into a personal environment, say our home, wherever the case may be, and do what you think you're going to end up with. Huh? What do you think you're going to end up with? You're going to end up with that type of situation. This is why I told you, men, earlier today in my live. If you haven't watched it, make sure you go watch it. Also, make sure you hit up the Cash App. Do that. Show some love. I told you I'm trying to do something for y'all today, but it don't look like that's going to come to fruition. So we're going to have to throw that one out the door. I had a real big surprise for y'all, but I got to get there, pay for it. It can't come out of my pocket. I just went to the grocery store today, and that was one of my donators' money, and I spend the money the way I tell her I'm going to spend it. You know what I'm saying? I make sure of that because she go out of her way to help me. You know what I mean? It's a damn shame more other people don't contribute to this channel. But I'm a guy. I'm a man of color. We are the last to get donated to. Trust me. We are the last. Unless you're a popular motherfucker and you're yelling and screaming and tree stump preaching and lying to the people, telling them you go build a school or something like that, they ain't fucking with you. You know what I mean? Or build a museum or fund me to go to Africa for no reason whatsoever other than my own personal experience. You know what I'm saying? But that's the mind of most people nowadays. So it is what it is. But if you guys would like to, the description links are in the description. The links are in the description box. Cash App, $ STRINGERBELL. It is also a GoFundMe. There's also a PayPal link. I would like to go somewhere for you guys today and film something for you that I guarantee you will be worth the money you would like. If you want that to happen, you need to do it within the next hour. I need to be out here in less than the next hour or 30 minutes from now. All right. Excuse me, 30 minutes after that to make it in time. So just getting y'all heads up. If you don't, hey, cool. Which means, let me wrap this up. Somebody said something. Go back to the beginning and watch. Geraldine, go back to the beginning and watch. But I just want to say lastly, that black woman that was there today, I want to say this, not all black women are like her, but a lot of black women side with women like that. cantankerous, nasty, ill-gotten, forgotten women that nobody, most of the time, wants. Most of the time, women that are just so vile that society only puts them in one place, and that's servitude. That's all you could do. You could serve, you know, serve, serve food, serve papers, serve trash to the trash can, whatever the case may be. You can only serve, and you don't realize your actual position in life. See, a lot of these women, they try to present the argument and say, "Oh, I'm better than men," but you're working for men. You're in a building that you're working in that was built by men. You're in a job position that was created by men for you to work there. So I don't get how you're better than men. I see these women out here say they're better than black men, but yet and still, some of these famous stocks you could think of, from Amber Rose, Brittany Renner, and a whole bunch of the rest of them, they got rich by men. You understand what I'm saying? The third tenet that I got to point out is this right here, right? Many of these women that think they're better than black men and Spanish men for some reason, that think that you're supposed to brown nose and kiss the ass. I've never seen these same positions taken with white women against their own men. So I think not only is there something wrong with these nasty, cantankerous women that lie all the time, because that first time I met that woman, she said she lived in Greenwich. Greenwich is 10 minutes away from here driving. Okay. So if you live in Greenwich, how come you don't grocery shop in Greenwich? Why is this the second time I run into your grocery store here locally to me? That doesn't make sense. That means that you can't afford the grocery store in Greenwich because we know the setback on that, right? You ain't getting that paper like you talking about. You was driving a CR7 Jeep from 2013. You ain't getting no bread. How successful are you? See, these women don't really live in reality. You live in a two-bedroom apartment. You got two kids. They share a bedroom. You over there too. You try to pay this high boot cool amount of money so you can brag and tell people what your address is. But yet still you ain't got no space in there. Y'all crammed in there like this. Who in the bathroom? You know what I'm saying? And so it stands a reason that this ending this. I don't hate that woman. I wish the best for her. But in my mind, and what she exerted at that store, and what that female police officer saw as well, that woman's got a mental problem. And I would bet it down to not having a man, being stressed out, and having to raise two kids by herself, which one boy I think she has an issue with. I saw that little boy's eyes in that store today. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, just go back to the beginning because I'm about to end this. And I'm not starting over because it's just, I don't get donations to be starting over. You know, I started over one time and that's it. You donate, I'll show you that gratitude. I give out. Like if you don't believe it, just go back to some of my older videos, okay? Go to my older videos because a lot of y'all are new here. Go to my older videos. I used to do, and people that have been with me for a long time, if anybody's been with me for a long time, please write that in the chat to verify what I'm saying. I've done lives for 6 hours. The one I did about Alpo, that was 6 hours. I've done lives that were 3.5 hours. I used to do them repeatedly. And then what I saw was when I got off, everybody would be like, yo, we're going to donate it. What's the cash up? Whatever. Don't hit nothing up. Or people would lie, say they didn't have cash up or whatever the case may be. So I said, I went out of my way, took my time out of my day, created a PayPal and a GoFundMe for those that don't. All those are in the description box. Also be in a pinned comment. There's something I want to film for you guys today and let y'all have a live view of across the nation, no matter where you live at. And I'm saying you're just holding yourself up. So throw $10, $15, $20 in there, whatever. If I get $110, I'll go. $110? Like seriously? Like, come on, man. That's his traveling course. Eating, getting there, filming, all that, getting back. You get me? Like, so throw away the $110, $80. I'll even do it for $100. I'll go down there, whatever, but it'll be well worth it. So make sure you donate to the Cash App, $STRINGERBELL80. Like I said, we press for time, so thank you. And that's it. You do. No lies told. I put in a lot of work on this channel. Even when you guys see the thing I'm gonna throw up for my 1.2 million views in 28 days, you're gonna see a thing that Google says, congratulations, producing more videos has got your channel more seen. So I got Google congratulating me, but I don't want to partner with Google anymore. I don't want to do that shit because you have to change it. I can't have discussions like this. I can't be honest with y'all. So I'm looking for the support of the people and sponsors with the people. Where we have little incursions. It's summertime, people. Let's get it moving, you know. So I would hope that you guys would donate to that, or y'all can go over there and donate to Brittany Renner. or a host of other your celebrities that you guys say or whatever. Brittany Renner's a celebrity. Fuck out of here. But women that think like her and like that woman at the grocery store today, there's something wrong with these women. I could tell that woman was stressed. That's why I kind of feel sorry for her. So I want to say to this woman, if you happen to see this or whatever the case may be, you never know. Never know. I want to tell you this. You know what you did in the store today. You did it on purpose. I filmed you doing what you did on purpose. Now, I don't hate you. I don't hate you. I don't hate you. Nah, nah, nah. If I hated you, that'd be something different. But don't be sorry. Be careful. You had your kids with you, and you in the middle of the store starting an argument and a fight with a man you don't know based off the fact that you think somebody's going to come break it up. But I'm going to tell you something about little brown girls, okay? As you noticed in history here, okay, as you know, pay attention. As you noticed in history here, from Sandra Bland to all the way back with Kizzy on the plantation or whatever, you girls have not had the best, let's say, treatment by the police, have you? So when you're on the other end of the spectrum and you out here calling the police on people for false reasons or whatever and getting erotically smacked in the face when a black female police officer shows up and checks you and says, "Go ahead, baby." That's how she says it. "Go ahead, baby." That's what I said. Some good black women out here. Are you following what I'm saying? And they're starting to recognize these nut ass chicks that are like that. That's how that woman said it. She said, "Go ahead, baby." Because she knew. It's like, you don't even look like that type. I said, yeah, I know. That works for me sometimes, and sometimes it works against me, you know. Pleasant lady. Shout out to that black female police officer for seeing through the chuck and the bullshit, you know. And shout out to the black woman that was responsible for me being at the grocery store in the first place. So no, we're not talking about sisters. We talk about the whores, the thoughts, the bitches, the cunts, and the sluts that y'all fail to motherfucker want to recognize because y'all want to group them all together as queens. These bitches will kill y'all niggas. Don't y'all know that? These bitches will kill you, nigga. They will sacrifice you for the greater good. Chris Brown got sacrificed. Do you remember? Huh? Wiz Khalifa got sacrificed. You don't remember? Huh? Y'all don't remember? What's homeboy's name? Sean Kingston. He got sacrificed. Don't you remember? He was the first person that brought one of these thotties to the motherfucking awards. He brought Black China to the Billboard Music Awards and the old black cladded leather see-through tetas hanging out. This was his date. Sean Kingston put Black China on the map, in my opinion, because she was still in the strip club at that point. And y'all remember Sean Kingston, "It seems so suicidal, suicide." Y'all remember that song? Yeah, that was him. A lot of men have put women in good places or whatever, but I don't see none of these women putting men in good places. When that gonna happen? Once some of these multi-million-dollar women go be out, you know what? We get the brothers right or whatever, so we can get the men that we want instead of trying to give them a hard time. And especially the fact that, ma'am, you had your son in front of another man of color. Now, I know I'm not fully black, and that's fine. But you had your son in front of another man of color. And that's how you gave him example. That's why I said, look at how you're acting. Y'all see that in the video below, and I'll put it in the pinned comment in here so y'all can see it for yourself. I said, ma'am, look at the example you're setting. She was saying I was a sorry. I said, no, ma'am, you're a sorry excuse for a woman. And I said it to her like 5 times when she kept on having to say the same thing. I guess to get back at me or whatever. I don't know. I said, no, babe, you're a sorry excuse for a woman, fully. And that's how I feel right now. Maybe I'll see you again, miss, and I may not feel that way. I might just laugh it off and move on. But as of right now, if you ever threaten me again in your fucking life, I guarantee you I will drag your fucking raggedy ass through court for another 12 years just because every time it comes up to our date, I'll postpone the shit. I'll drag you out for 12 years till you have now fucking dime left to your name. And I'll say, fuck you and fuck everything around you and every responsibility that you have financially. You can best believe that shit. Or I'll drag you out. I'll bankrupt your ass. Just trust me on that one. Don't fuck with me. You understand? Don't fuck with me. I'm professional for a reason. There's more than one way to get you. So, I'll say to you ladies that are out here, y'all starting problems with men intentionally, making fun, being passive aggressive, trying to fight men, trying to put your hands on men, like I've seen in so many of these videos lately, calling men out of their names, trying to berate men, because there's a lot that's going on in all different cultures. Blacks got their versions of it, Latinos got their version of it, whites definitely got their version of it. I just saw a video where a chick ran up on this dude, hit him 2 times, and every dude around him is sitting around like, yo, son, I don't even know what side to be on. You know what I mean? That's how the white dudes are like, I don't know what side to be on. And I don't know what black women and Latin women think that white men. Listen, I've seen more white men in my lifetime punch a chick. Enter enter in on Google, white man punches white woman. See what comes up. Enter in white man punches white woman. Tell me what comes up. I know what comes up. I just want to see if anybody will be brave enough to write in the comment section and tell me. What you'll see is a litany of different videos, especially if you hit videos in your search. You hit the option of videos, images, you know what I'm talking about. You hit the option of videos, what you will see is video after video after video after video of white dudes attacking white women. This is why I say to you, a lot of these women, and I don't care what side of the spectrum. I've dated white women. I've dated a woman from Israel. I've dated a woman from Turkey. I've dated a woman from Germany that were from those countries. You understand what I'm saying? I dated a Turkish woman, which I think she was either Turkish or Armenian. I'm not sure which one, but I've dated those women. You understand what I'm saying? My daughter's mother was from Haiti. You understand what I mean? So I dated a litany of different backgrounds of women, and my daughter's mother was dark skinned. I've dated probably 3 or 4 dark skinned women in my life, so I don't have a problem with dark skinned women. Um, I always get like that when I talk about my daughter's stuff. Um, One of the things I tell you guys is, ladies, I was in a position where I would have been raising a daughter. You understand? And my daughter probably would have been, what, 2021 now? It was so long ago, I don't remember it. But my daughter would have been 21 years old now. And I just think to myself what it would have been like for my daughter to be in this environment that's going on with ladies right now, these non-traditional women asking for traditional benefits and treatment for men. Not all, but a huge majority. I looked at that Brittany Renner post, and I implore you guys to go down below. I'll throw it in the description box too, and heard the shit she said. And it was the same thing kind of condensed to the woman that was in the store today. You're telling women what they should be doing with themselves, where they should get themselves mentally. But this is a woman that got 2 side babies. I can't make this shit up. This is a woman that got 2 side. You should be giving, you couldn't even handle your own advice. You couldn't even take your own advice. And now you have an epiphany that makes you feel like you want to put this up online for the pure simple fact you want to make yourself feel better. Brittany Renner came out and said, you have to get yourself to a spiritual place and be all about you and blah, 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 blah. And all these women, all of them equally, that didn't have no man, ain't had no history of having a man. That's one thing if you ain't had no man in a while. That's one thing. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of y'all women out there, older and younger, don't worry about that. If you ain't had a boyfriend a couple years, year, 2, 3 years, take some time out. I'm talking about bitches that never had a history of motherfucking consistently dating anyone for a long period of time. Your relationships go months. You have a history of having monthly relationships. You ain't nobody in love with you. They use you for your back, on your back. Lay there. Stay there. That's it. You don't think so? How many people wanted to marry Amber Rose? I'll wait. How many people wanted to marry Black China? I'll wait. How many people wanted to marry any of the other local thoughts that you know about? Brittany Renner, how come she ain't married? I can keep going on. Karuchi, how come she ain't married? Do y'all not see the pattern here? Yeah, these girls have had a little bit of celebrity or whatever, but it's short lived. And that's one thing y'all have had done too, being in fact a traditional star versus this new affirmation of star. It makes no sense. These ladies are not stars because of YouTube. You're stars because you actually did something productive. So, ladies, I just say this. You want to keep emulating these dangerous women, these nasty women or whatever, make sure you know there's some repercussions that come to it. It might not be something you like. One of these guys might strike out at you violently. One of these guys might curse at you in front of your kids. They might put you in a dangerous situation or whatever the case may be. And all these guys may not be like me. That's all I want to say to you. Guys, Like I said, I'm gonna get both. Yeah, I'm gonna get dressed. I'm gonna keep faith. I I don't care. I'm gonna keep faith, and I'm gonna say it anyway because I think you can talk something realization. I want to go film something for you guys tonight or whatever. I think you will like it. It's a July 4th celebration. I want to bring it to my viewers or whatever the case may be. Guys, make sure you donate to $STRINGERBELLA. There's also a GoFundMe link. There's also a PayPal link in the description box. I'm going to go live later, regardless if I end up going or not, based on the donation that I get or whatever the case may be. And at that point, I want the same people that were here in this broadcast to remember, please don't say too much to me in the comment section if you didn't contribute at least 10, 15, $20. Just don't say nothing to me. All right. I don't want to hate comments or whatever. I might even block you. Because you see the views went up and so is my subscribers. So I can afford to lose 5 or 10 of you before I couldn't. But now I can. You understand? Because the only thing it'll do is basically just take me down, what, a couple thousand, a couple thousand to back where I was. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like, I prefer not being a whole bunch of new people on here. I like the older people. So, guys, make sure you hit up the Cash App in the description box. I can go film this for y'all. I'm going to finish charging up because I see the battery pack is done. So I'm going to charge up one more, whatever. And I'm just going to prepare myself to go regardless and put faith that my subscribers will make sure that they get the show that they want. And keep in mind and give you an example of, you could have way more than that, but it's got to be funded. We need sponsorships at this channel. And to that woman, be careful.